to the warm-up. I'm Stu Wakeford. We are Premier League, so we are Premier League. That will never get old. I'm holding this. Yes, we are Premier League, but these two have been Premier League all season. It is, of course, Brentford women's gaffer Karleigh Osborne and the ambassador Marcus Gale. Mix it up, because we're Premier League now, if that's all right. How are you, lads? I'm literally gripping hold of this thing.
I'm not letting it leave us aside. Days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very fun and exciting few days, that's for sure.
Best day of your lives?
It's up there.
Definitely up there, for sure.
That's two men with children, so you can't say it's the best day of your lives.
I know, I could be divorced by the time I get home.
I can say it's the best day of my life because, you know, I've got no children basically, and it is the best day of my life.
Your child in your hand right
This
now.
is my new child. I'm really gripping it as well. Celebrations weren't bad, were they?
No, they was good. I thought it was quite
understated.
Yeah.
From what I saw, like a lot of people really enjoying themselves, especially you, Stu. Especially you.
Well, we had a good day Sunday as well.
We did.
But the scenes outside this place were just unbelievable, and that's when it hit home. I think again what it meant to so many people, didn't it?
Yeah, you could just see the ecstasy with people, the fans, the scenes outside. You know, it was rocking. The whole place was rocking. The whole town was rocking.
So this is basically a little bit of an impromptu show. We didn't know we were going to do it, but we thought, just a selfish point of view, let's just relive it all again. So shall we watch it back?
Let's watch it back.
Sounds good to me.
I'll never tire of watching this.
Chasing all over, running in circles. We ain't getting young, let's get it together.
I'll never get tired of that. I mean, I've cried a lot in the last few days. I can't keep crying. Let's go back to Saturday. Unfortunately, we couldn't watch it together. We weren't too far away, but you were obviously having to be very professional. I was trying to be professional in that press box. Luckily, they put me at the edge of it. I don't know if anyone noticed that. So I could be, I was still professional. Steve messaged me in the morning.
He was
Remember
very
he got
professional on the day.
Yeah.
Like, it was an emotional day, innit?
Yeah, it was. It was very emotional.
day to just be yourself.
I thought he was very professional.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my dignity after and my clipboard, which is why I'm on paper. But let's go back to that day. How were you boys in the morning?
I was actually all right. I was really calm, sort of excited, obviously, to get to the game and stuff, but really calm. And then going to the stadium was calm. You know, seeing the fans, how happy people were was brilliant. And then we went 2-0 up, and I'd become a nervous wreck for some reason. When we was actually probably in the most comfortable place, in control of the game. But we went 2-0 up, and I was,
I think I said so many times before, I don't care if this is the dullest game of football. I don't care now. Like, I love the excitement here against Bournemouth. I can't do that again here today.
Yeah.
And I think we all said, and Lukey's behind the camera there, he actually said, got to get early goal. Early goal will just calm everyone. If there was anyone that was, I don't think any of the players were nervous. And we get that early goal. And it was a bit of a sign of what was to come, wasn't it? That Brian running in behind, and we've seen it very recently, that where defenders are now having to look behind their shoulders when they play against us, and we're looking to stretch them and make them have to run towards their goal, where maybe early in the season our play was all in front of defenders. You could see it was one of those moments, the penalty, it felt like slow motion to me. Like, as soon as the ball went past Ivan and you saw Brian running through, I don't know what it was in my head, I just went, we're going to get a penalty here. I don't know, it just, it was one of those ones, Karleigh, wasn't it?
felt it, yeah. To be fair, having said that, I was in the toilet, so I actually missed the
No!
He missed it.
second time this year, yeah.
No!
Second time. But it must be a good omen, because, like I said, the first time I went, we scored. Second time I went, we scored, and we won. So it must be a good omen. But yeah, obviously watching it back, I think that's probably the biggest change that clubs struggled with, because, you know, at the start of the season, we all know Brentford play unbelievable football, but sometimes a lot of it was in front of teams. But when Brian kind of went up and then started to stretch teams more, I think teams then didn't know how to adjust to that, because then you have both sides of the game, don't you? You have the wonderful football that's in front of teams, but you also have the bit that's in behind as well, which get behind team and causes problems. And teams couldn't live with us like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of pushed us on again come the end of the season.
Kieran Brett turned to me, he went, first time we've ever been in front in a final in like our lifetimes. Like, I've been to so many, like, we'd never been in that situation. And what's going through your minds then? Because I'll be honest, straight up, I just broke it into 5 minute. I was like, right, so we're now 10 minutes in, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was like 80 to go, and I was going, how many 5 minute breaks is that? And I was working it out that way, and I was going, get to 15, and then it's another one done.
Yeah.
Then you've only got, maths ain't great here, 6 left. And I was trying to work it out, and I was going, well, we've got, I can't do the maths, but we've got a lot left. And I was going, that's too many 5 minute breaks.
I was thinking a second goal could really give us that sort of cushion. Still a long way to go.
Yeah.
But when the second one did go in, I felt a bit of relief.
Yeah.
I thought, that's a great position for us to go in 2-0 at half time. If we can get to that.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because, again, another slow motion moment was like the corner came in.
Yeah.
I was like going, how long has Ayew got the ball at his feet in our box here? Like, I was going, it felt like all slow, but I was going, is he going to turn? Is he going to turn? Then obviously win it. And it was one of those moments where, like, a quick early long ball from Vitali.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're in it.
Yeah.
2v2. And how amazing was that moment with Brian and fair play, Mads Roslev.
That run he made.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a run he's made. A massive diagonal run to go beyond Brian.
Yeah.
Bit of composure.
That's
Picks out
it.
Who, that's not an easy finish, but it just bounces before he makes contact.
It's a wonderful finish.
He's controlled that beautifully well into the near post.
I think that was it for Mads. I heard a couple of times going, he should have hit it on his left foot. But he's done well to pick Emmy out there, and then, like you say, to compose yourself to that side foot. He could have. How many times do you see that get skied in the moment in front of the Swansea fans?
Yeah. We saw that in our Tuesday night match, didn't we, last night?
Yeah, we did.
One man who didn't compose himself though after that, Brian Reamer. How good were his celebrations? Just running out and jumping. I loved that moment. Then not long after that, because at this point I'm going, is this real? Is this real? Like, is this real? We're 2-0 up in a playoff final here after 20 minutes, wasn't it, at this point?
Yeah, it was, 20 minutes.
And then what happens
a long way
next? Yeah, but then what happens next?
Tony.
I didn't even time to work out my 5 minute blocks now.
He was gone.
Ivan's just absolutely levered one. Poof! Do you think it was in?
I thought it was going in.
Well, our commentary position was right
Yeah,
behind
right
it,
behind
and it looked like that's in all day long. It's going to just dip under the bar and just nestle in there. But
I thought
what
it
a
was
tremendous
going in.
strike. Great technique.
Obviously 65 minutes, I had an idiot mate, I love him, but I don't need the messages he was sending me going, you've done it, and I'm like, it's 40 minutes to go, mate, I've still got 8 of my 5-minute blocks. And then, but 65 minutes in, Jay Fulton gets the red card. We don't need to go into it too much. It was one of those weird ones that it looked awful at first time.
Yeah.
Then you did see it, and I've got an element of sympathy. I think, again, I can be more like, sympathetic now that we've got that sat next to us.
Of course.
He probably does slip.
Yeah.
He does.
But it's still a red card, even if he does slip,
all day
isn't
long.
it?
Yeah.
Yes, he slips, but for me, he has a little cheeky look to his left-hand side as well.
Yeah.
Before he goes in, I'm not saying it's deliberate, but it was an ugly challenge.
It was an ugly challenge. Yeah. Regardless if he slips or not, it was an ugly challenge.
Yeah.
And there live, it looked awful.
Yeah.
From where he was.
I thought he'd like proper gone like that.
In my head, I was just like, what have you even thought about there? But listen, unfortunately, he's had a little slip, but it's still a bad challenge.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if you guys had this, and it was a really surreal moment. I actually spoke to someone on the phone about this today. In those injury time minutes, so I started to go a little bit in injury time, compose myself, and then I didn't want the game to end.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just the most enjoyable I've been at a football. Like we're going into, it was almost like the journey is sometimes better than the actual finish, thing. And it was like, it felt like Christmas Day, those injury time minutes, because I knew that they weren't going to score 2 in those injury time minutes. Yeah. At this point, I'd kind of gone, it's probably us now. And I didn't ever want that feeling to finish. Yeah. And then, I mean, what
it was looking at the clock at 90 minutes, and you got it was like, come on, in 90 minutes, we can get excited now, surely. Yeah. But anything can happen in those.
Well, then the whistle does go, and that feeling, like I'm getting goosebumps now. It was a feeling that I don't think we'll never get that feeling again, will we, lads? Is the thing, because it was the product of the journey that we've all been through as fans and players and staff members. That it didn't feel real. It still didn't feel real. Looking at it, it almost looked like this was I don't know what. How do you? I can't describe it.
It felt dreamy. That's the thing. Yeah. It felt dreamy, and it's like your sweetest sort of dream, and you don't want it to end. But as you said, it's a historic moment. It's never going to happen again. You know what I mean? It's like a one-off in terms of you get to the Premier League for the first time in your history. You can't repeat that again.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter what happens in the future. You can't repeat what happened on Saturday.
You never forget your first time.
Never.
Then comes a moment that got me again. Pontus goes up to Peter and reminds him of a promise that he'd made to him. When we win at Wembley, you'll lift the trophy with me. That was just everything, wasn't it? Players and a fan together. Like, that was like the moment. Like, Thomas there is humble enough to go, no, this is you two's moment here. And it was an incredible moment, wasn't it, Karleigh?
It was incredible to see. And you know, for Peter, it must have been an absolute dream come true. That's remarkable of Pontus as well in understanding what it means to Brentford and Brentford fans. We know Peter is a fan first and foremost before anything else. So it was a beautiful moment to see. It really was.
I think that summed up for me. And what I found really unique about Saturday is that playoff final, right? Every other year I've heard the playoff final spoken about. They've spoken about it being the richest game in football.
Yeah.
And the money. Saturday, I didn't hear one person talk about the financial impact for this football club, because there is a massive financial impact. There's been a man that's Matthew Benham who's had to spend so much of his money to get this football club even near that. Yeah. He saved us like this. But Saturday was all about the club. You saw the one family, the together. Yeah. There was no chat about money whatsoever that day in the richest game in world football, which I thought was a really remarkable thing. And then that Peter moment with Pontus, and then seeing the owner who's a Brentford fan, the CEO on the pitch who's a Brentford fan, all these people that were Brentford fans in that moment, just summed it up. And I think on a year where there's been rubbish about the Super League and all that stuff, and fans haven't had to be there, I don't know, I'm getting a bit emotional about it, but it was like, it didn't matter. Money in football, you just saw it then. It doesn't matter. It's about the emotions and the journey of all those people, right?
Ultimately, it's about the prestige.
Yeah.
When the players roll out, they're going to get the little lion symbol on their shirt.
Yeah.
That's the prestige of what they've achieved for the club. You know, the fans have a little joke with rival fans that, look, we're just a bus stop in Hounslow. That's us from the inside. That's what will keep us humble. You know, it was never about the money. It was about the prestige, the hard work that's gone on over many decades.
That humility is an interesting one. I think there's obviously been a few moments naturally where people go, "Oh, shots are fired when you've gone up." But we've been battered for 74 years, pretty much. Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and it's a bit of fun. It's not an arrogance with Brent. Like, we're the least, I think, one of the least arrogant football clubs you can get. Yet sometimes people say it about us. It was just us enjoying a moment.
Yeah.
That had built up of so many years of hurt and having to come back. That was it, like coming back from lows, having highs, going to lows and coming back.
Yeah.
And then Hey Jude comes on, and I don't know what you guys feel, but it feels like we've really reconnected with that Hey Jude song lately, Karleigh. I don't know, it feels different again with it.
No, for sure. I think it does, and I think that coming on was brilliant, and you can see every single person was singing. Everybody was behind it, the emotions were outpouring, it was fantastic. And now, you know, I remember when people used to call us little old Brentford, it's not anymore. We're one of the top 20 teams in the country now. But that's how you have to see it. We're in the biggest league in the world, and it's incredible to see the journey that the club's been on, and now where they're at, and what the future holds now, because now the future is anything. And you know, Brentford are a club that are going to be pushing. It's not going to be just acceptable enough to just make it to the Premier League, and that's great. They're going to want to try and keep achieving things, which is fantastic.
We've deserved the position and the placement in that Premier League now. Now it's about how we're going to deal with it, have that character on and off the pitch to stay at that level and compete in the rightful manner. And I think we've got the right infrastructure to do that. But, you know, we've got to wait and see now. We're in there.
Yeah. We'll look forward in a bit, because I'm still in the moment here, right?
Yeah.
And there were so many lovely moments then, like Derek Burridge. Did you see those shots?
Yeah.
Like,
he's our global superstar ambassador. He's been shining in Sweden and all over the world.
Even people like Michelle Glasser, who you saw straight away on the coverage, like you were seeing people and you were going, I know them, or like, even if you maybe didn't know their name, you were like, I know them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had any moments at full time. There's one for me that I'm going to mention in a sec, but what your favourite moments are there when you were watching that? Because we've all seen something, like even if it was Matthias and Emmy trying to unscrew that giant version of the trophy, like, or it was, like you say, like seeing the people in the stands crying. Like for me, it was like, I could see my mum down there and my dad was over there, and I don't know if you guys had any.
I was thinking of one special guy that's connected to the club, and he lost his wife during this last year, and I was just thinking of him. I don't want to really mention his name, but I think the fans would know who it is. But yeah, he's gone through a tough time. He's only just came back to the game. I think he came back to the Bournemouth game for the first time, and then I'm sure he was there at Wembley as well. But when you think of the journey that we've gone through, what we've achieved, there's been some fans that have not made that physical journey with us to the stadium, or watching it at home because of what COVID's done and affected so many people.
That's what I said to Emmy after the game, and I was just like in the post-match, and I was like, in the worst year of so many people's lives, you've given them the best day of their life. Like, and that's what it was. And I was so fortunate enough to see Jamie Powell before the game at the match, and it was like, wow. And like Billy Coleman, I know, was there, and there were so many people that have been through so many horrific things, and I don't know, football's just so special, isn't it? And the other moment for me, I don't know if anyone saw it or has seen it, but Thomas bringing the trophy over to Woody and Emmy seeing Woody with the trophy, and you were just like, when you talk about now going into a global league and being a global football club, those are the moments that make this club stay what it is, right? Because that's what a lot of people say, how do you stay Brentford? Well, we will always stay Brentford because of the people and the people that bought into it and the people that were here already, right?
Yeah,
it's a family club, and when you see those images of, you know, the staff on the day going towards the fans and giving them a touch of the trophy, it shows you the humility, and people don't forget as well, and that's an important message to carry on into the best league into the world, because that's going to go global now. They're going to see a genuine family club step up It's the 50th new club in the Premier League. Whether that carries any extra sparkle, I'm not too sure. But you know what, we'll take that. But we'll take a great message with us as well.
Exactly. Well, there were some unbelievable celebrations, and like Marcus say, taking these to see some of the fans. Apparently, it went down to the Express Tavern. Well, I want to see some of you guys' special days and special moments from the best day of, I'm sure, many of you's lives. That's what it's all about. Lads, I'm going to strip back some of the emotion now, because we've got a little bit emotional. I don't know if it's because we've all had pretty heavy weekends. But let's look at it what it is. It was an incredible achievement from this group and this club, wasn't it, Karleigh? Why was it such a special achievement?
It was an unbelievable achievement. You know, within the club, we've been speaking about it for years. It's been something that we've been working towards for years. And we've now finally achieved it, and I think everyone probably outside of the Brentford fans and Brentford staff, players, people connected with the club probably didn't ever think it would happen or ever kind of believed it, but everyone here did, and that's finally happened now. You know, we can say we're a Premier League club. We're going to be playing against some of the best teams in the world, and now moving forward, you know, the world's our oyster, because like I said, it's a club that doesn't just want to stand still.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than that. It's about, okay, what happens next now? What do we do next? How do we become bigger, better, and kind of establish ourselves as one of, you know, the best teams? And that's what I can't wait for in terms of the journey.
It's interesting you say that, because I think we've just got very emotional about it, and we joke about it, and I don't think it will really sink in for a while, and rightly so. We should enjoy this, and I don't think the novelty will wear off for a while. But now it's kind of, Marcus, right, we're not just here next year to have a bit of fun and have our day out for a season. We want to do something, right?
Yeah, we want to compete. I think it becomes real on the 16th of June when the fixture list comes out.
Yeah.
And you know, you see who you're going to get on the opening day, and you're thinking, geez, who would we want? Who are we going to get? No, we're going to have the Champions League winners. Out here one day.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of level of what we're going to get accustomed to as well.
Yeah.
Top flight players, the best players in the world, international players week in, week out that are going to challenge us, and we're going to rise to that challenge as well. We're going to enjoy the moments. We're going to carefully plan how we're going to navigate through this season as well, on and off the field, because the staff are going to be they're going to be overloaded with so much more work, dealing with a full house here, 17,250. Everyone's going to be demanding more from each other, and I think we're going to embrace that.
We've got to raise it.
We've got to raise it.
We've got to raise it.
We've got to raise it, because we ain't doing this in shorts every week.
No, we can't be doing this.
Can't be doing shorts.
No, you're going to have to
Or
start.
jeans. We need to buy in some more jeans with the Prem money.
As it goes, yeah.
I'll take that. I do need some. Well, we can't wear jeans anymore. It's going to be shirts.
tie.
We've got to be real. We're still Brentford, eh? Come on, right. You're one of 4 incredibly talented managers at the football club. Thomas Frank. I saw Natalie Sawyer and Darren Brentford talking about Thomas, and she was kind of saying he deserves more credit, and I really agree with that. Like, maybe not from our own supporters and stuff, but externally, Thomas Frank deserves a hell of a lot of credit for this job, right?
Yeah, He does. Just the way he has kind of put this team together. He's dealt with the disappointment of last year. He's made the squad better. He's made everyone connected again at the club, I feel like. You know, he understands the club, the fans, what's needed to make sure it's all one club going in one direction, and obviously that direction is up. But also, you know, when you talk about his ability as a manager in terms of his tactical awareness, his understanding of player management and how important that is, and how important it is for players to feel, you know, loved and wanted, needed, but also for them to understand that there's certain standards that have to be adhered to, and if those standards aren't good enough, you know, you're going to be told about that. And for me, I think the way that he carries himself is brilliant. I really do, because he has that trust of his players, which you can tell. Everybody speaks so highly of him. You know, literally everybody speaks highly of him, which is fantastic. And even, like I said, same with fans and other people, other staff at the club. He's always respectful. You know, he always wants to have a conversation, always wants to get to know more about them. And I think he's a remarkable man, and what he's done is fantastic.
He gets us, doesn't he?
He's our version of the special one, because no one in our history has done that. You know, Premier League achievement, came close last year, bounced back, regrouped, gone again. There's not many teams that do that, and you've got to be a special character to do that, a humble character as well. And that's one of the words I said and used with him on Saturday, is that he don't just care about the players on the pitch, he cares about their life after it as well. He wants to improve them on and off the pitch, and I think that's a very good quality to have, and it perfectly suits, you know, the Brentford model in terms of going forward.
The weirdest thing I find is that opposition fans some love him, but some seem to. The weirdest thing I've seen in some opposition fans say he's arrogant. He's possibly the least arrogant football manager I've ever come across.
I mean, I've heard people say that. I'm a bit like, I don't know where you see that, because he's not at all. I don't get that from him at all. And listen, I know we're going to be biased because, you know, we're Brentford through and through, but I don't see that at all. If I was looking at him as a player, he's a manager that I would want to play under because of the way, you know, his connection.
Exactly, he's got a connection. It's a bit like Jurgen Klopp with the way he always goes, like, I hope the Brentford fans are having a beer tonight or a glass of wine or celebrating however they want to. Like, he gets the football fandom and that side of it. You kind of said he's the special one. Harry Curtis obviously took us to the top flight before. It's hard to argue that he's probably the best in our history. Arguably.
When you look at his games record, isn't it? He's got to be up there. He's got in at the right time, and we've got a fan in the background here as well with young Luke giving us a little sign. But brilliant man.
He's done a special job, but there's a lot of people we need to give shout outs to here, and Phil Giles and Rasmus are two in particular, because it's not just been the last season or so. For years now, they've done an unbelievable job, haven't they, Karleigh?
Yeah, they have. They've done an incredible job in the way they do stuff. They're meticulous in how they do stuff. You know, they make sure the right players are here. They make sure the right staff is here. You know, they make sure that football is run and the club is run how it needs to be, in the right direction, to be prepared for where we're wanting to be and where we are now, which is the Premier League. So they deserve massive credit.
Their job harder or easier now?
Probably become a bit harder.
Yeah.
I think Rasmus touched on it yesterday or the day before, that the pool of players might shrink a bit in terms of who they can look at. The temptation, well, not temptation, but the distraction could be the club will be bombarded by agents like, I've got X player on whatever wages and it's Premier League. It's whether Rasmus and Phil hold strong to the model and just stick by our guns in our terms of success by doing it our way. But they've got a great job on their hands, a difficult one. Yeah. But I'm sure they'll look forward to it.
Another man I want to mention is, especially Saturday and the whole season, the playoff, a lot of B team players and products playing such a pivotal role, and it's that legacy from Rob Rowan, isn't it, Karleigh, there?
Yeah, it is. You know, the B team have been producing players, that model seems to be working, and it's a massive honour how many players have come through. So, you know, for Rob Rowan to be part of that and us to remember him in that way is fantastic.
And then look, this isn't an Oscars acceptance speech, so I'm not going to be able to mention everyone, but one man we haven't spoken about really here is Matthew Benham. I mean, where do you start with Matthew Benham, Marcus?
I think you start with the hug. social distance hug during this time. But when you think of the sort of the finances, the level of finance he's put into the club, the belief, the dream, we're at this beautiful stadium, and to see him rewarded with Premier League status now. He's a Premier League football club owner now.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I don't think I could ever thank him without getting. Do you see what I mean? Like, well, we grew up watching our team playing for our team.
It was great to see him on the pitch as well.
It was, yeah.
That was the bit that got me. It's great to see him on the pitch.
He keeps himself very much to himself. He's not someone that likes to be at the forefront. He's very happy to just be in the background and let others take the plaudits. But he deserves massive plaudits for what he's done and what he's built.
Exactly, that's it.
I remember when he first kind of bought into the club. I was here, and you could see that once he managed to kind of get full control, he was going to build something. And that's what he's done, and he's built it.
I can't, I don't know. It must be such an amazing feeling. He's made all of our dreams come true, but he's also made his own dreams come true. I don't know if it's better to have been the one that scored the goal on Saturday or to have built the club to where it is to get there. I mean, I don't know.
It's a collection of everything. Everybody putting in their bit and sticking to the sort of blueprint of success, which. Yeah. Matthew he's the architect of that blueprint. He's seen it, he's achieved it, he's got the right people in to push it through, and here we are today. We can sit there happily saying in a humble way, where are we playing next year, boys?
Premier League. What are you boys looking forward to about it? Come on, what are you most looking forward to about next season?
I'm just looking forward to seeing Brentford play against some of the biggest teams in the world. Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, it's going to be incredible. It really is.
Hit me with a fixture then, come on. Sounds weird, but for me it's just Old Trafford or Anfield.
I think Chelsea come in there, especially after their antics last week as well. Champions League winners.
Yeah.
I think that's a big draw for us. Two West London sides. It's down to us two, isn't it? The Battle of West London in that respect. Yeah, the derby games are always going to be difficult.
Yeah.
And that's what will probably make our games a bit more difficult, because now we're in the top parts of the London clubs. There's that big rivalry now, Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Do we put Watford in that as well? I think we do, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah. It's massive, isn't it?
It's harder for the London clubs to compete.
Got a favourite that you're looking for?
Favourite.
I think Arsenal.
In terms, I am kind of. So I'm not really anyone, as bad as it sounds, but really and truly, I'm not. I'm disgraced with them. So, of course, I want to see that fixture. But for me, the away games speak for themselves. Old Trafford, Anfield, places like that, they're incredible. But I think for me, seeing kind of Man City, Liverpool, I think those two fixtures and what they're going to bring, seeing them here, those players here, will be incredible.
Like Pep's going to be like, oh, right, we need to look at how Brentford are going to hurt us today.
Yeah.
What? Hearing that come out of the greatest manager ever, potentially.
The sentimental ones for me is Villa with Ollie, and obviously West Ham with Saeed coming back to see, they was part of this journey.
Yeah.
They got their personal rewards and got there a year before, but to come up against the club, I wonder how they're going to feel about that.
One thing I'm not looking forward to, VAR, but look, we're not going to go into that now. We can't get picky, can we? Look, we could sit here all day and reminisce, and there'll be plenty more times we will reminisce. That is definitely the last show of the season. I think we've dragged it out a bit, to be fair, haven't we? Thank you so much to everyone that has watched over the course of the season, and thank you so much, because we've had some really lovely messages, and even a couple of people at Wembley said something to us, and it honestly does mean a lot, and we do appreciate it. Hopefully we carry this on next season, bigger and better. We'll get him some new jeans.
Get you some new cover as well.
Get me some new gear as well, any danger. Look, lads, there's only one way we can finish this, isn't it? So should we just do it one last time? We are Premier League, so we are Premier League.